Greetings and merry meet. Once again, my name is Reverend High Priest Leland Davis, Reiki Master Teacher, and today we'll be covering the tools of the trade, and I'll be showing you my personal altar. So this may take a moment, but please bear with me. I'm just getting a few things together. Alright. Chair out of the way. Hopefully y'all can see a little bit better. And now, here's my complete altar. And I'm going to go through each item on the altar. Well, most of the items on the altar. There's a lot of stones on my altar. So we won't be covering stones just yet. The first thing I would like you to take a closer look at is my statue. Now, it is not required that you have a statue, but I do recommend that you choose one. This is the goddess Ariel. Let's see if I can pronounce the name correctly. Arian Radu, and she is the goddess of challenge and transformation. Her silver will transforms the heavens and the stars. Just put her right there for right now. And she is the goddess of challenge and transformation. Her name translates to the silver wheel, which we equate to the moon and the stars and the cycles of change of the heavens. Her twin sons Dylan and Lou, that she mysteriously bore, were given considerable obstacles to overcome by their mother, who understood that attainment and status must be achieved by learning and effort. She was thought to be the mistress of a great fortress by the sea. We associate her with silver, stars, wheels, and the spirals of infinity. So I wanted to just briefly talk about her. And I have a little presentation presented. Now, your altar does not have to be near as elaborate as mine, but it's totally up to you. An altar is a table or other flat surface that witches and magicians use to focus their energy and organize their tools during ritual. Many witches choose an altar made from wood or stone, as they contain energy rather than conducting it away too quickly, as metal tends to do. The altar will be placed to face any direction, but most prefer to face their altar towards the north. Now, north for mine is that way, but as you can see, due to the lack of space, I have not faced my altar north. Instead, it is facing east, which is also a good alternative since that's where the rising sun. Now, the next item I would like to show is an athame. Now, this is not a traditional athame. Usually they're black handled. but this is my athame, at least for now. An athame is a black double-bladed knife that a witch uses to conduct and direct energy during a ritual. The athame or athame represents the feminine principle of nature as it is only used for non-physical actions. So basically, you can never use it to actually cut anything. So it's not used for sacrifices or anything like that because we don't believe in sacrifices as far as blood sacrifices. Most athames are made from metal and is especially appropriate if the tool is to be used for banishing. However, many practitioners choose to use athames made from wood, stone, or horn when invoking because these materials do not drive energy away as metal does. Some witches only use their metal athames for banishing and designate their wands for invoking. The athame is also compared with the bowline, which is used for physical masculine purposes. The athame is used for circle casting and other ritual actions, and is pronounced a variety of different ways common to pronunciation, such as weapon saying athame or athame. The dual blade represents the duality in nature. Give me one moment. We had a little oopsie on the altar. Me and my big arms. Now the next thing will be the bell. And the bell is used to call spirits during a ritual, align energy to the proper frequency, and to herald the beginning of the end of a ritual. This tool symbolizes the goddess and is to be run to invoke her to join a ritual. Also, I like to use it because bells are cleansing. Whenever you ring a bell, it cleanses the area instantly. So, bells are very good for that. The next thing I would like to show you is a bowline. Now, this is something that many of you may have never seen before. Here's my bowline. Now, as you can tell, it is a curved knife. It is sharp on both ends and serrated on the inside. The handle is made of bone, which is not necessary but makes it a lot cooler. So, here is a bowline. Once again, not used for any kind of physical sacrifice. Blood should never touch any of your magical tools. So I'll put that away for right now. And a bowline is a curved knife used for cutting ritual herbs and other physical actions as compared to energy actions of the athame or athame. The bowline represents the masculine energies in nature while the athame represents the feminine energies. So for males, it would be better for you to have an athame, excuse me, a bowline, and women or ladies, y'all would be more attuned to the athame. Now, a book of shadows is a book holding all the ritual spells, recipes, and spiritual thoughts in which uses and practice of his or her craft. It is own is it can also hold any beliefs, principles, or other important information which feels important should be included. Now, I keep mine online just because I do a lot of teaching. So by all means, use I would recommend using a book, but for teaching purposes, it just makes it easier, more convenient for me to do it online. All right, the next thing is a broom. We all know what a broom is, so I'm not going to bring a broom in here. Represents both sides of nature, with the brush symbolizing the feminine and the handle representing the masculine. This tool is used to sweep away negativity and clean a ritual area prior to a ritual workings. So basically, you sweep the negative energies, preferably from east to west. East to west. That's the way the sun rises and sets. Next thing you would have would be candles. And as you can see, I have many different candles all over my altar. And candles are used as symbolic representations of manifestation. For example, a witch can charge a candle with an intent and then light the candle to bring the desires into being. As the candle burns, go to the next page here, his his intention passes from his mind into the universal void, where all where it all emerges into as reality. Colors and shapes also help to focus attention and energy and the will of the caster. Next, we'll cover the cauldron, which I do have a cute little cauldron right here. By no means do you have to have a cauldron like this, but that is my cauldron. It has many different uses, which we'll discuss in a moment because of the way it's shaped and how it's been made. The cauldron representing the womb of the goddess. This fireproof pot or kettle can be used for a variety of purposes, including divination, a censer for burning incense, parchment, potions, etc. Next thing would be a censer. Well, luckily, I have a handle on mine, and I can wave it back and forth gently, so not to just throw out all my stuff, and I can use it as a censer. Like I said, it has many uses. At least this one does. It has another use to it we'll talk about in a moment. And it's a fireproof container used to burn incense, purifies the ritual area, and attunes the energy and current in the environment to the proper frequency for a specific working, symbolizing the element of fire. Now, I have not specifically chosen a chalice yet. Chalice can be any kind of cup, but I like to have mine stuff special, as you can see. And so I have not chosen my chalice yet, but any cup will do. And it is a ceremonial cup that represents the womb of the goddess and is used to hold holy water and wine or other ritual libations. Can be used to substitute for a cauldron. So if you don't have a cauldron, you can easily use a cup or chalice. All right. Now I'm not gonna pull out a cord because we all know what a cord is. It's like fat. It's like something made of fabric or whatever you can cut and shape. The cord is a long length of thread that is often used to um, delineate. What's this word? Delineate the bounds of protective circle and divine spells once they have been cast. The cord is most often colored red, but it can be any color the caster finds appropriate. Another use of the cord is for cord binding magic, as in the Cunningham or witch's belt. I shouldn't say Cunningham, but as a cingulum or witch's belt, so you can like wear it around your waist. When worn as a belt, this tool is often black and but it can be any color of your choosing. Incense, which you'll see that I have here burning. This just happens to be moldavite incense, used to help set up the mood and the energy current for ritual workings. Incense not only helps nature attune to the will of the caster, but also helps the caster achieve the proper mind state for perform their ritual working. For repeated or routine workings, this type of incense should be chosen with care, as it is easy to program one's inner mind to open just from the scent of certain kind of incense, which is why I chose this particular brand. This can be dangerous because if one goes into open state when outside the protection of the open ritual circle, he or she is substitute susceptible to any numerous opportunity forces that may wish to take advantage of his or her vulnerable state. Now, this house that I'm in is always protected and is always within a circle, and that's always a circle within a circle. And then we have the pinnacle and pentagram. I wear mine, although it's good to have one for the altar, which you can make baking clay and make that and find that at any hobby store or Walmart baking clay and form your own and bake it and color it. But here is my pinnacle. Let's see if I can get the action right. And as you can see, it has the moon phases all over it. Um, it is solid sterling silver, which I personally believe that any metal that you wear should be of precious value, or at least have a magical reason. Otherwise, it's doing you no good. For example, pewter, anything is not going to be good for anything ritual based, and I definitely disagree with the use of pewter workings, but you may feel differently about that, so that's up to you. And it's a symbol of the five-pointed star enclosed inside the circle. The pentagram is placed on the altar for protection and meditative purposes. Each of the 5 points of the star represent one of the following elements: earth, air, fire, water, as well as a fifth unseen element of spirit, which occupies the top point of the star. The pentagram, with the point facing forward, has a pretty universal meaning, that of over matter, or over the spirit of the magician controlling the elements. This form symbolizes the body of man, with the top point being man's head and the other 4 points being his arms and legs. The pentagram with the point pointing down can represent the mind of man, controlled by the elements or his animal passions. In this case, the symbol represents the negative aspects of magic and witchcraft, or what is known as the left-handed path compared to the right-handed path, or the positive aspect of magic. However, in the realm of formal initiative traditions, the inverted program can be a symbol that is an initiate to wears when she is attaining his or her second level of proficiency within the tradition, and that's if you're decide to go formal with that. Now, in addition to that, basically you use the pentagram, the pinnacle with the star up, point up for protection, and you can do the point down for to receive. So it's always good to have it pointing up for protection. Robe and cloak, which I do have robes and cloaks, but you, I'm not gonna pull them out here because it's just too many. But it's form of ceremonial clothing and other practitioners of magic choose to wear when they are performing ritual workings. Robes and cloaks are often worn today in place of going skyclad, which in term is the practitioner wears no clothing at all. So yeah, if you're not into wearing no clothing at all, you may want to invest in a cloak. Sword, which I do not have, um, but it's a tool used to direct energy. It has similar qualities as the athame, as it is used more often in advanced ceremonial work and everyday conjure of ritual workings. So that's for more of a ceremonial purpose why you would need a sword. So otherwise you really wouldn't need one. Let's see. Wand, which I'm still working on one of my wands. I do have my staff. Find where I put it. I do have my staff. It has this nice little kink in it. As you can see, it's perfect for to be used as a walking stick. But instead of using a wand, you could also use your finger. Used by some practitioners in place of an athame or athame for the purpose of casting a circle or directing energy. While many practitioners use both tools and designate different functions to each, the wand can easily fill both functions, as most wands are made from wood, glass, stone, or horn, and are perfect for invoking circles, gods, elements, and other spirits. And then finally, altar decorations. There are countless ways to design and create your ritual altar. Many pagans prefer a round altar to represent the circle of life, while others prefer a square or rectangle to sit up to reflect the four elements, which I like the four elements, which is why I'm using the rectangle desk. Whatever shape that you construct your altar, you should probably consider the effects of various building materials of the energy flow around your sacred space. So that is all I have for ritual tools, and I hope you have found these to be useful. And if you have any questions, please message me, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Great, merry part until we meet again. Blessed be.